Hey, welcome to the Michael Artsis Show. I'm Michael Artsis. You're watching Be Terrific. Thanks so much for joining us. This show is going to be about positive stories in tech, sports, entertainment, and business. And we're going to take you through all of that. We're going to have great in-studio guests and, of course, people who are on via Skype. You'll have a chance to engage and get involved, and it's going to be amazing. I want to tell you about our first guest. Our first guest is a really, really nice guy, really smart guy. And his name is Ben Harris. He's had a successful Kickstarter campaign for his company GoGlove. Now, we've met GoGlove before, and we've met Ben before, but I think what's most interesting is you were in the process of a Kickstarter campaign, and now you've successfully completed a Kickstarter campaign, and I think that that's a big shift for your business.
Absolutely. We're so excited. We're about 5 days past our successful Kickstarter, and now everything is really shifted into high gear, into manufacturing, making sure that we do right by all of our backers.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
How hard is it to now go from being the guys who had this great idea to the guys who actually have to deliver that great idea, and not just deliver a prototype, but deliver many multiple units in good quality?
Yeah, we really just kind of set out to solve a problem and to have fun. And, that was the whole premise behind it. My cousin and I, who's our software developer, our lead tech guy, it was really just kind of fun. And it's really turned into a business now. And so that's the big change for us.
All right, so here's the GoGlove. I've got a pair right here. And you put these on, and you can control different functions on your mobile device.
That's right.
Via low energy Bluetooth.
That's
so
right.
that the battery has to be changed like what? Once every 9 months, maybe a year?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So here are the gloves. You can stay nice and warm. They're a really good pair of nice warm gloves.
Yep.
But now I can still operate my phone. So why don't you walk me through how you do it? And I think we've got a flash cam right here to show that off.
Perfect. So, I'm on Pandora here. So basically what you want to do is you just, tap your finger. You can see I've started my music. So now, let's raise the volume here, pump the volume a little bit. And all I'm doing is I'm tapping my fingers, just paused it. So, you want to skip tracks, you can absolutely do that. And all you're doing is you're just tapping your fingers together like that, So there's a magnet in the thumb, and then there's sensors in the fingers. And those sensors are connected to a Bluetooth module that's in the wrist.
So let me let me hold your phone for a second. I see
Sure.
you've got an extra module in your hand. Let's
Sure.
see what the module looks like.
Yeah, so this is what the module looks like itself. And what you can see is there's basically 4 buttons here that match the 4 buttons on the fingers, right? Mm-hmm. So when you disconnect out of this little pouch, you disconnect the module, and the buttons become a standalone remote. You're able to, push the button and get the exact same function that you got on your glove that you have in the remote.
Okay, so now you put the glove in the remote in the glove.
Yep.
And you can play and pause and do all this stuff using your hands. So let me see here. How do you track forward again?
Yeah. So that I have this programmed as my middle finger.
And you would program it. Okay.
Yeah. So there it goes.
As your middle finger.
That's
track
right.
Forward.
That's right. You could do anything with that finger, right? But that's the cool thing is we're going to customize this. So you're going to have an app online that's in development now. When we deliver the first gloves, we'll launch it, and that app is going to allow you to pick which finger does what function.
Okay.
Right now there's 8 functions. So there's single and double tap. And, we're hoping that, down the road we'll have, maybe 20 or 30 different functions that you can select to enable a running app. Or, right now we can start and stop your GoPro camera.
You can start and stop the
Yes.
GoPro camera. That's
Yes.
pretty amazing.
Yeah. So like people that love active sports, one of the challenges that we hear from them is, I've got my GoPro that's strapped to my helmet,
Mm-hmm.
and, I've got, all this wind going on. I can't really, once I hit the button, I'm not sure if it's on or not. And then you go over a great jump and you find out later that day, I didn't get the shot. So what it'll do is when you tap it, it'll actually tell you in your earbuds, GoPro on, GoPro off.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right. So how do I stop and start the music? That's my index finger.
Yep. So I just have that programmed as pause, play as my index finger.
Okay. Then your middle finger is track forward.
That's right.
Then your next what if you wanted to track backwards?
So I don't have that programmed right now, but you could do like double tap would
For
be
track
back.
Okay.
You know, with Pandora that wouldn't work, but you
Sure,
know, if
but
you've
with
got
other-
iTunes and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then what about the third finger?
So then this one I just did volume
Okay.
up and then volume down.
Is your pinky?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So that's really awesome.
Yeah.
How much you could still get Go gloves, right? So if I missed the Kickstarter, I could still get a pair.
Yes. So we found a site called GoFounder, and you know, basically what they allow you to do is a continuance of your Kickstarter with really no deadline. It's a great platform, but we did just start it. So we've gotten a couple orders through, but really, you know, GoFounder/GoGlove would allow you to continue to pre-buy all the way through our delivery in June.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so these are going to be great for fall, winter 2015. You got to be super excited about them. The idea is that I'm on the ski slope and I can, you know, whether snowboarding or skiing, I can activate my gloves. But as you pointed out, I can activate my GoPro. I can do all sorts of other things. And I imagine other features will come in the future.
That's right. You know, the really cool thing is that it's just software, right? So software development is you know, allowing open API across, you know, different platforms. And so we're going to actually be launching functionality to control, you know, the Internet of Things connected to the internet, like a garage door or lights. You know, whatever is connected to the
So
internet.
instead of the clapper, I could walk in a room and just double tap my fingers.
That you could. You know, we envision, you know, somebody walking in the door maybe doing that with the glove, but really removing the module itself and kind of just clipping it to your keychain and always being able to have a connection with something without having to take your phone out. You know, that's really kind of the vision.
I like that a lot. And by the way, even with the gloves, it's not just for winter sports. It's for all sorts of other things that you would need gloves for, right?
Absolutely.
So, if you're a handyman and you need gloves for your job, it's a perfect application.
Yep.
All sorts of other things like that. How did you think of this idea?
Yeah, you know, so my cousin and I were avid skiers and snowboarders, and you know, I really, you get in the moment, you know, when you're skiing, and you know, it's like you're going down a great run, and it just everything's feeling right, and all of a sudden a terrible song comes on, and it just kind of ruins it, and it's flat. And so I remember there was a moment when we were going up the chairlift, and I'm taking my earbuds out and my glove off and trying to get into my pocket, and my zipper got stuck, and he's talking to me and I couldn't hear him, and I just was like, this is really frustrating. So I bugged him for probably a year or two to say, like, man, we could do this. I'm sure we could do this. And he's the genius tech mastermind behind the whole building of it. And he said, you know what? I bet you I could. I bet you I could build it. So we did it. We did it in the basement.
What was the first prototype like?
It was Eric's wife actually built the prototype. She sewed some conductive threading through one of those like really cheap liners that you get for, you know, like $1.
Like the silk liners.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, and you know, threaded it in and basically connected it, and it was pretty funny, but it worked, you know. So we were like, man, this is really cool. We've got something here.
And how did you build the original module?
You know, actually, my grandfather had a really old plumbing kind of soldering iron.
You know, I love that this is like a whole family thing.
It is.
It's such a great story. Okay, so your grandfather has this plumbing soldering iron.
Yes.
That is not like a regular soldering iron,
It's
is
like
it?
a big thick one, right?
Yeah.
So we were at Christmas actually last year, and my cousin and I, you know, we're home for the holidays with our families, and we're like, you want to go down the basement and try to build it? So we did, and you know, he's like, you know, globbing on solder. He's like, oh, this is terrible. So it came together, and it finally became built, and we said, you know, this is awesome. We really could scale this as a product and as a business.
Really awesome. How much is a pair of Go Gloves if I want to go on now?
So right now, they are on Mega Founder for $99.
Okay.
We are going to retail for $129. So if
It's
you
a
want
good deal.
if you want to pre-order, now's the time to get it out for a deal.
And the interesting thing I think is that, you know, I tried the gloves with the metallic tips and stuff where you could use your phone in the beginning. And I when we first had iPhones, they came out with these. And I didn't like them. The reason I didn't like them is because I felt like they were scratching my phone. I certainly didn't have any kind of feel. And the reality is I only want to do certain functions out in the cold anyway.
Right.
And I think that that's what's great is you're giving us the ability. But again, I'm not like fumbling for my phone and grabbing it and trying to make it work. It's such a good solution to doing all this. And I think that it's really awesome because the sky's the limit.
Thank you.
Did you always want to be an entrepreneur?
You know, I'm always told by people that know me very well that they're surprised that I'm not doing something more entrepreneurial. So I actually, you know, made a New Year's resolution.
Because this is a second career for you.
Yes, this is a second career. And so, you know, I basically made the commitment. I said, you know what? I've always wanted to do this, and so I'm going to do it and see what happens. And you know, it's the right product and the right people and the right timing.
Well, it's your idea. I mean, that helps. It makes you passionate about it.
Sure,
right?
sure. Yeah, I mean, all these elements coming together. We have such an amazing team. You know, we've got a couple people all over the country right now, a couple interns, and everyone's working so hard on it. So it's definitely an exciting thing.
Who did the Kickstarter video for you guys?
Yeah, I'd love to give a plug to these guys. They were incredible. It's In the Car Media, all one word, In the Car.
Sure.
We had a hard time kind of finding the right people for the first time around. So we ended up asking actual people on Kickstarter that were being funded at that point in time, who did you use for your video? We loved using it. And what a great community Kickstarter was, because most people got back to us and said, hey, this is who I used. They were awesome. This is who I used. I wouldn't use them again. So it was a great community of people to give us input. We found these guys. They were top notch. They were incredible. I would absolutely suggest people go check them out.
In the Car Media, what was that process like? You know, we do video production. So many people call us about Kickstarter videos, but you know, the reality is you didn't spend a lot of money on it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely on a budget. This is all bootstrapped out of our own pockets. So, you know, they helped us out a little bit, but in the end, I mean, their prices were right. We were able to do it. We knew we needed to invest a little more than we did the first time, but they came in on budget and were top notch. We're going to continue to use them for future you know, commercials that we're going to try to do and things like that.
Great.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with a whole lot more on the Michael Artsis Show right after this. We've got Ben Harris from GoGlove, so stay with us. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Michael Artsis Show. This is pretty awesome. We've got Ben Harris from GoGlove in the studio. GoGlove is, well, let's just show you. Ben, thanks for joining us. You guys have had a successful Kickstarter. We were talking about the commercial when we went to break, the video you had for Kickstarter. We're going to talk a little bit about that a little bit more, and then some other things. But let's show everybody how this works. So I'll tell you what. What do I do here? Here's my phone. It's an iPhone. Yeah, you hold the camera.
Got it.
Walk me through the process here. So I'm going to take my non-gloved hand, and I'm going to look for devices. And let's see what happens. I guess the first time I should hit something, right? Like, so that it activates.
That's right.
You know, this might be a representation of why you don't set something up the first time live on air. But there it is, GoGlove. All right, so then I just click that, and hopefully it connects, right?
Yeah.
It's, there we go. You can see.
So there you go. So this is the module here that's actually connected.
Oh, it's connecting to that one.
Yeah, so it wasn't showing up, so I don't know if the battery wasn't, you know, maybe connected on that one. But
so we'll connect this one.
Yep.
And then, but is this one's not the one in your glove, though?
Correct. That's just a third module that we've got.
Module that you've got. All right.
Yep.
So then we would, there we go, pair. Okay.
Yep. So now that it's paired, you can go to kind of any music application. So
let's go to iTunes. Here's iTunes Radio. Oh, you're going to see my horrible iTunes Radio collection. 90s Dance Party.
Sounds
All
like a
right.
good idea.
So in the 90s. So let's get some volume on this so people can actually hear. Okay. So we've got some 90s dance party going.
There you go.
And then if we want to track it forward, I would just hit
There you go.
and there you go.
There
We've
you
got
go.
some 90s music.
That's right.
And so if this were in this glove, as opposed to the one I have in here, it would actually work.
That's right.
Through it. So we'll check that out later why it's not working, because we're going to do a full tech review on these.
Cool.
And we're really excited about that. We were supposed to do it already, but we've been a little busy.
No worries.
I apologize.
I get it. I get that.
apologize to you live
For
on air
sure.
here.
No worries.
So your Kickstarter commercial, people talk about Kickstarter all the time. How important do you think that was to getting funded?
I think that really the people that are buying on Kickstarter are always the early adopters, and they're the people that really trust the inventors to deliver on what they say they're going to. And that's really the key of the video, is to allow people to share in the vision and say, if that is the product that I could buy retail, I'd rather buy it now. So, it's
I think
it's
that there's a
definitely
little
a
bit
big
more
part.
to it. I think it's not just hey, I'd rather buy it now, because they're not getting it till June, right?
Right.
So maybe I'd be better off waiting till September when it's in retail, right?
Right.
Come the fall. But on the other hand, I think that the people who adopt early on Kickstarter are the people who want to support new innovation, new business, entrepreneurs,
No doubt.
and buy a cool new product.
Yes, absolutely.
So they're getting a deal on the product. They're buying it early.
Yep.
And they're also helping entrepreneurs and innovation. So they're kind of helping innovate. It's kind of a really nice circle.
It is. It really is. It's an amazing community. I would have done it again if I had the chance. So we're just so excited to be through that process.
But you
and
think
funded.
the video plays a large part in that?
Huge part. I mean, you don't have to have high production value, but you just have to tell your story. And that would be my only suggestion to people wanting to do this is, you don't have to, pay a whole lot for a big production, but you really got to tell a good story to connect with people.
Right. And I think it's that first few seconds that you've really got to connect with people too. You guys do it beautifully in your video. You talk about how you're cousins and you grew up together and you always were skiing and all that stuff.
Yep.
And your wife is even in the video, right?
Yep, that's right. That's right.
I think it's interesting, like we're making all these stars out of people who don't even necessarily want to be, but they are because their husband owns a business or their wife owns a business or whatever the reason, their friend owns a business and they need a model.
That's right. That's right. And it's kind of the new age of live TV, right?
Yeah.
Or of people wanting to be famous, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you've got how many kids?
2 kids,
Yeah.
2 boys.
Very cool.
Yeah.
They a lot of fun?
They're a blast. Nolan and Hudson, they're 3 and 1. They're just so much energy, and it's we're playing dinosaur every day after work. So
What is dinosaur?
just pretending like you're a T-Rex. That's his
Okay,
favorite
yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So, my son, I say to him all the time, what noise does a dinosaur make? He's 17 months. And he goes, I get excited. I don't know
It's
why.
amazing.
It never fails.
It's so silly, but it just warms your heart.
It really does. Like,
Yeah.
I could do that all day with him, and as long as he goes,
That's right.
I'm happy.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome.
It's so funny. Does your older son play any sports yet? The 3-year-old?
I got him on skis last year,
Nice.
so we got a couple shots of him, going down the hill. But who knows what's going to happen this year? He could be gone. I could look down the hill and he's already, by his old man. So.
Well, you've got an app for GoGlove coming out. That should be out when the production models come out, so that
That's
you can,
right.
as we talked about before, you can pick what buttons do what things, and eventually have up to 30 assignments.
Yep.
And also you're gonna it works with GoPro Ready.
Yep.
It keeps your hands warm. I mean, this is awesome, right?
I mean, it's wintertime. It's time to put your gloves on and keep your phone in your pocket.
That's it. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That's your line from the Kickstarter video.
Sure,
right?
yeah. I mean, I'm full of them. So whatever lines you need, I'll throw them out.
And what about like starting this? Were you ever nervous at all? Was there any part of the process you said, I mean, you raised $45,000.
Yeah.
It's a good deal of money. A lot of people go out to Kickstarter and ask for 100 or 300.
Mhm.
And some of them succeed and then some of them fail. And sometimes I say, man, you didn't really need $300,000. and I feel like that's why you failed. Do you think that you asked for the right amount of money?
Yeah, I mean, our first Kickstarter, we ended up asking for 50 and we raised 25.
Okay.
We learned a lot through that process, and we went back and crunched some numbers and tried to figure out, what if we, didn't build this mold right away? What if we, took this expense out that was, for marketing or something? And we got it down to 40, and 40 was the absolute bare minimum that we thought that we would be able to do all the things we needed to do it right, deliver the product, and not go into the hole.
And then you exceeded it.
We exceeded it, so
But you've
we're
also
good.
committed some dollars, not only in time and sweat equity, but also in real dollars to this at this point. And was there ever a time, especially after that first Kickstarter, where you were like, you know what, maybe the public just doesn't want this. Maybe they don't care.
Yeah, that thought absolutely went through our minds multiple times. And I think, in the end, if you've got a vision and you believe in it, then it really matters. And then on top of that, when you show people the product and you get like the mouths dropping and people saying, oh my gosh, that's incredible. It's really just a question of getting it to the right people and making sure that your product gets out there.
Is it ever frustrating where you get in front of a group of people and they're all like, oh my God, I want that. And you're like, you can't have it today.
Yes, that is really, really frustrating.
And then you got to go home and you got to be like, man, if I had 100 of them, I could have sold 100 of them.
That's right. I mean, I can't wait until I have a full trunk of GoGloves, and I'm rolling around the country.
I know you're a guy from Massachusetts, but I envision you pulling up in the Bronx, opening the trunk, and being like, "I got GoGloves. Who wants GoGloves?
Who wants GoGloves?" That's right. That's right.
Watches and GoGloves.
That's right. That's right. That's right. No, I can't wait for that moment when we can really, truly, be selling and not just pre-selling. That's going to be really when I think things are going to take off for us.
Yeah, I think that's really the big moment. Obviously, you've raised a good deal of money. You had the video that worked out well. You have had the successful Kickstarter now, and then it's basically just leapfrogging to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Now you'll get production models in, and you'll be able to take this to retailers and get them in stores and stuff. Now, have you dug into your own pocket a little bit more to kind of fluff that order? So I don't know, if you're on Kickstarter and you've ordered, let's say 4,500 orders, right? Something like that. Do you now are you now really going to go order, instead of 4,500, maybe 6,000, so that you can then put them in retailers immediately?
Yeah, we actually just had a conference call on this yesterday, and the whole key is for us to make sure that we figure out what our day rate is and how many people are buying on a daily basis, and just try to project that by June we believe we're going to have X amount of orders, and then that's what we'll place the order for.
Well, that becomes the hard part then too, because if you get a major big box retailer who comes in and says, hey, we want 10,000 by September, you're going to go,
yeah,
whoa,
we're going to need some time. Yeah, that is really the challenge. And so, we are reaching out to investors right now. We're trying to find some angel investors to help navigate retail a little bit. It's a newer space for both of us, but I think once we get to the point of securing vertical integrated manufacturing and everything's flowing really well, I think that's at the point where we can say to an investor, I just need $50,000 to be able to buy the inventory, and then we're ready to go. And then, then that's when we do have the inventory ready for retailers that say, we'd like to place a PO.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we might have some investors out there.
Hey, I would be very happy to talk to anybody who would be open to investing, and we'd love to talk. So check us out, GoGlove.io.
.io. Now, why did you do .io?
I say honestly because we're cheap, and we'll take good care of whoever's money they send our way. But the .com was taken, and we just said, we love the name GoGlove, and we're not willing to pay somebody for squatting on GoGlove.com.
Right. I was going to say, what is it? It's nothing.
It's nothing. It's just an open
squatter.
Yeah.
So it's GoGlove.io.
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys have really made a nice product here. You've got a great story. It's inspirational.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to actually put the whole thing together for your first Kickstarter?
Yeah, I mean, so the pre-work into the first Kickstarter was probably 4 or 5 months. You know, we built the first prototype over Christmas, and then we launched our first Kickstarter on the 4th of July.
Wow.
And you know, the whole adage there was, you know, independence from your phone. You know, was our whole thing. We said, let's do this, and we'll be able to deliver this winter. And I think, you know, the consumer, their mind just wasn't in winter mode.
Yeah.
You look at other major Kickstarters like the Coolest Cooler, and one of his things was, you know, I didn't have a finalized design, and I was trying to sell a cooler in the winter. And I said, well, that's exactly what we're doing. We didn't have a finalized design.
And you're trying to sell a glove in the summer.
Trying to sell a glove in the summer. So, you know, a lot of those factors really kind of came into play. But we spent 3 to 4 months from the time we built that first prototype all the way through getting ready.
How did you not walk away when you failed? Like, that's the thing that blows my mind, because I would have said, you know, I guess it's actually interesting, because I think that 10 years ago, I would have said, oh, that's it. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
But I think now I have a little bit more experience, and a failure doesn't mean that it's a failure. A failure means that you re-examine and you go, okay, if I truly believe in this, maybe we just didn't do something right.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, failure can be a wonderful thing because it really tells you where to go, and it does test your ability to be resilient. And so, you know, the failure actually was a great thing for us, especially in Kickstarter. You know, we had all these people that had, you know, bought from us or pledged originally. You know, we had this kind of groundswell of people that kind of came out of nowhere that were like, I love this idea. You know, one guy, I'll give him even a shout out. His name's Sly, and he would post stuff on our Kickstarter like, "Come on, let's get this thing. If we get this, I'm gonna go bananas." You know. Stuff like that. So it was really amazing to kind of see that groundswell of people. But you know, like I said, when you're showing people face to face and you get the jaw drop and people say, "I want that, I love that," you know, you got something good, and you just say, "I need to learn from this failure, and I need to do it better next time." And that's what we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing to me that you guys stuck with it. I think it's great. You know, the one thing about Kickstarter I always say is that I always feel like if there are two things with Kickstarter. If you don't get the word out enough, if you don't get enough publicity, it's hard to succeed on Kickstarter, especially now. It's not the beginning of Kickstarter,
Very
right?
true.
Number two, if you fail, if you're looking for investors or even just retailers, right? I feel like the retailers or the investors could easily say to you, well, you know what? How was your Kickstarter? Oh, it didn't work. People don't want this.
That's right.
And it's not really necessarily the truth. You've proven that. It's been proven time after time. The Coolest has proven that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is, in my mind, that it's really hard to get over that.
Mm-hmm.
Not only for you psychologically, but also a retailer, a partner, and, of course, an investor. And so I think that it's a testament to your guys' fortitude that you actually pushed through that and said, no, you know what, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the way you have to look at Kickstarter. You have to look at, well, what are the things we did wrong? Are these things that we did wrong, did they cost us enough that people didn't find out and didn't buy, or they weren't interested because it's the wrong time of year, or were they legitimate, like, is it legitimately that people just don't care about our product? And obviously this is a product that people care about. I was so excited when I met you at Engadget Expand because, as I said, I've resorted to using a stylus in the winter so I can keep my gloves on just to answer a phone call,
Right.
or just to change the music, or just to do whatever, and I don't have to do that anymore. That's terrific.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's really awesome. We're going to do, like I said, we are going to do a full tech review on this.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well,
Which you guys are going to be able to watch, which is really awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm glad to meet you as well, and I really do appreciate your help to kind of get us to this point. And like you said, it's getting the word out. You've got a great following of people that follow this show. We're just ecstatic to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. And the point is, for everything we do, is to do stuff that's positive, engaging, and inspirational. And I think that you're engaging and informational, which is great, but you're also inspiring. and it's really awesome. So I thank you. Ben Harris from GoGlove. It's GoGlove.io. And if we go there, can we find out how to get to that other site to do the order for now?
Yep, absolutely. It'll take you right there. So GoGlove.io, that'll be the platform that will send out. We might bring some of the sales in-house, but for now it's all external. So you'll be able to get there, and maybe you won't be able to buy them out of my trunk or in Brooklyn, but you will be able to buy them online. So yeah.
Now the thing is that's so cool is you'll be able to order them as for the holidays. So you'll be able to put a little card in the stocking or the present and say, hey, you've got a GoGlove. Not good for the 8 to or really the 5 to 12, 13-year-old crowd. But you get to 14, the kids can be a little bit more patient. All the way up to adults, they're going to be really excited about this and willing to wait till June to get it. And of course, if they might have a summer trip to Banff,
there you go,
or somewhere out west that'd be perfect for. And if not, they'll have it ready to go September. They go out west in September, or they wait till October and out east for Vermont, Massachusetts, New York, even for their skiing, snowboarding, whatever. Is there skiing in Pennsylvania? I was going to throw a little shout out to Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
there.
a little bit. I think the Blue Hills are there. The Poconos.
The Poconos. Like that, I see. The thing with the Poconos is I never know exactly where the Poconos are.
That's right.
It's like I've been to the Poconos and I never remember. Is it it's kind of right by Jersey, kind of right by New York, but it's really Pennsylvania, right?
I haven't been there in years.
But is that the truth?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is it Pocono, New York? I don't know.
I don't know.
I know it's Catskill, New York. That we can't mess up.
Yes.
I should Google that while we're in commercial break and come
there
back.
You go.
I know what it is, though. It's GoGlove.io.
That's it.
That's for sure.
That's the place.
All right. GoGlove.io. Ben Harris, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to come back with a little bit more show here on the Michael Artsis Show on this Monday afternoon from New Jersey. I'm Michael Artsis. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. Well, that was truly an awesome interview with Ben Harris from GoGlove. By the way, in the commercial break, we sorted out some things. Here are the GoGloves. Got my iPhone 6 Plus right here. Watch this. Got it working. Want to track forward? No big deal. Let's raise the volume. Let's lower the volume. Awesome. We're listening to a Macy's commercial. I guess we just gave them a free plug. Let's see if we can just get rid of that. We did. GoGlove is really awesome. GoGlove.io. Really cool story. And I'll tell you a funny story we found out in the break as well. We got the micro drone at Engadget Expand. We're doing a tech review on that, which we'll have for you. And they gave us this extra battery. Where did I tuck the battery for safety? Right in the GoGlove so we wouldn't lose it. Meanwhile, for the last month, I've been going nuts looking for this battery. So here it is. Funny story, good news. We found the battery, and we'll be able to bring you that awesome Micro Drone 2.0 story as well. Those are extremeflyers.com. I think also .co.uk, which is co.uk. I just love the story of the GoGlove, though. Really, really awesome. And to do a little bit more housekeeping, the Poconos are kind of like right here with Port Jervis, New York, and Milford, and also New Jersey. So there is this nice little three-way that they're having, and I just said that on air. But they are having this nice little thing, and they're not far from Port Jervis or from Milford Township or from Montague Township. It's all in like the same place. But the Poconos are officially in Pennsylvania, so there you go. I had no idea what I'm talking about, but I should know, especially geographically. And I have been to the Poconos. It's just been a while, but I've been to Pocono Motor Speedway, which I'm going to imagine is in the Poconos. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the show. We're going to be back tomorrow and have another great guest, I think via Skype. And, of course, we'll have a lot more show throughout the week and in the ensuing weeks. The idea is to do a lot of great content for you that inspires you, engages you, entertains you, and informs you. We're going to do it in sports, tech, business, and entertainment, and we're going to bring you great guests from all over. We're also going to be at CES Live, so you're not going to want to miss that. We'll be live from CES January 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. And here's the coolest part. We're going to be at the main convention center on the main floor for the first 2 days. That's where all the biggest announcements will happen. So we'll have some of those. And then we'll also find some of the smaller booths that don't really get as much love or attention, but have some really great stories to tell and products. And then we're going to pack everything up and move over to the Sands Convention Center. That's their new convention center for innovation. And we're going to be there with the startups and the innovators and the entrepreneurs, just like Ben Harris of GoGlove. And we are going to tell their stories the last 2 days. So the 8th and 9th will be from the Sands Convention Center, the best of all worlds, giving you the most amount of coverage and complete coverage of CES. We're really excited to announce that. And that will be January 6th to 9th in Las Vegas, Nevada. And of course, between now and then, we'll be bringing you a lot more content updates for that. And of course, you'll get behind the scenes stuff as well in CES. All right. We are going to be out of here for today, but tomorrow we'll have a whole lot more for you. And some point this week, I believe we'll have David Clowney, former New York Jet and Green Bay Packer on. And of course, we'll have a lot of other guests for you as well. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for watching. For the entire crew here at Be Terrific, thank you. And of course, I've got to thank them. They hold down the fort and make me look pretty good. And of course, Ben Harris look great. We'll be back tomorrow. Be terrific.